Hello, my name is Katrina and I'm a design consultant with Valet Custom Cabinets and Closets. And today I'm here to talk to you about measuring your own closet spaces. At Valet, one of the initial steps of the design phase is going to be the designer asking you for overall dimensions of your closet. So the first thing that we want to talk about is the tape measure itself. I recommend to have a tape that has a width of at least an inch to measure these longer spaces. Anything smaller than that, you might not have great control over your tape measure and it will affect the accuracy of the dimensions. So if you do have something smaller than that, I definitely recommend having a second person help you take those measurements. The first wall that I'm going to be measuring in this space is the left side wall of the closet. Now I've already gone ahead and sketched out a floor plan of the closet. The floor plan is a bird's eye view of the closet and should match the shape of your closet floor. If you're not comfortable with that, then I would recommend to work with your designer on getting a template made, and they will let you know on the template all of the locations that we need dimensions for to help you get started and use as a guide. So the first wall I'm going to measure is going to be this left side wall. And I do have to get back into this corner, and so in order to prevent us from having to pull all of our clothes out of the closets to take measurements, I'm going to show you a trick to get back into that corner without moving the clothes, and it's going to involve bending the tape measure. A lot of these tricks do involve bending the tape measure, and I use this method a lot to be able to get the measurements. This gives you control and allows you to be able to get back into that corner. It extends your arm out and provides durability for the tape measure as you go back into that corner. Once you feel that you have a long enough tape to get an overall dimension of your wall, then you'll push it in. I'm using two tools here to make sure that my tape measure stays level. A level measurement is going to be key to an accurate measurement. So I'm using this cleat as a guide. If I didn't have that cleat, or in addition, I also use the little metal hook on the edge of the tape measure here. I make sure this is sitting flush up against the opposite wall, and that's going to help me know that I have an accurate measurement. So, okay, now I'm ready to measure this back wall. What I'm going to first do is I'm going to send my tape measure back behind the hangers. So I'm going to use my right hand to do that. And then while I'm doing that, I'm going to use my left hand to just pull it through, and then I can begin to pull the tape measure until it goes all the way into that corner. And now that I'm all the way in that corner, I'm going to just press, I'm going to use my fingers, and I'm going to press the tape measure to hold it against the wall securely. And then I can come through with my right hand and pull that tape measure really long, and that's going to give me enough length to get back into that corner. And then I'm going to measure the right return wall. It's important to note that when we're talking about the return wall, it's the right and the left side of the door that measured off of when you're facing into the closet. So you don't want to be inside the closet and then say, then that would be my left, and that would be wrong. So that's my right. As I measure this wall, I'm going to go all the way into the corner. And since this is a walk-in closet, I'm going to measure all the way up to the beginning of the molding. And my measure. Now, when you're going to measure a ceiling height or a header height, again, you're going to utilize this hook on the bottom of the tape measure. If you can get up to a wall, then I would recommend to just hook that right under the molding or the baseboard if you can, or you can also step on it with your shoe to hold it in place. And then you will use your left hand to hold the tape measure, and then you can just extend and push all the way up. Then I'm just going to go ahead and continue to push the tape measure all the way up to the ceiling. And I can see at the top of the curve where the tape measure bends that my ceiling height is 96.5 inches. Now, if I had a taller ceiling height, that might be kind of a challenging, it might be challenging to read that far away. So my trick that I use if I have really high ceilings is I'm going to go ahead and lock my tape measure in place. And then I'm going to make sure that the bend is where it needs to be at the very top. I'm going to use my hands to squeeze the two sides of the tape measure together. And then I'll just pull it down and take a look. At the very top of the bend here, I can see that my measurement's 96.5 inches. And I'm going to note that down on my paper. I'm going to note that down on my paper. And that's it. Now you have all the measurements that you need for the small walk-in closet, and you can go ahead and send those over to your designer and get to working on your closet renovation project. Good luck and have fun.